Welcome everybody to a first prediction video of the season coming of 2020-21. It's taken a hell of a long time to get to this stage, but we're here now. We're a few days away from the kickoff of the EFL season at least, and let's take a look at my first video, which covers League Two. Two new additions into the league this year, Harrogate and Barrow. How will they get on? Will there be any runaway leaders? Will Owen Doyle leave a stamp on being top scorer again? A lot of these clubs, we don't know how COVID would have reacted with them. You know, in a few weeks' time, a few of them may hit the rails a little bit. But from what we know so far, this is our video. So let's get to it. Who's going to be the first team that we think will be getting relegated out of the Football League next year? And the first team we've gone for is Leyton Orient. Unfortunately for them, no, and it's not anything to do with the fact they didn't sign Yaya Toure after his picture in an Orient training kit at the start of pre-season. You know, one big addition they've made is Cisse in the middle, a hard-hitting midfielder from Gillingham. I was impressed with him at MK Dons a couple of years ago. They lost their key defender, Ekpeteta, and you know what? They've got a decent squad. It is hard to call, but not a lot coming in. I just have a feeling that Orient may struggle this season. Joining Orient, I've gone for a big name in Scunthorpe United. I really think they will go down. A few of their regular names that we've known over the last few years have left in the summer. They've gone for a bit of a gamble with a few players coming in. Honoriese from Dagenham and Redbridge. Hope I said that right. Apologies if I didn't. Youngsters and Kelsey Mooney, they're trying to look at that. You know, they look at their key players again. Once more, we'll try and get them out of that trouble area where they were last season. Van Veen, Colclough, etc. 20th last season, and I just don't see an improvement coming from Scunthorpe, and I think they're in real danger of struggling next season. So just finishing out the relegation zone, and I've gone for Newport County to have a struggling season this year. A few outs, Jamil Matt, Dominic Polian, has left a big pressure on Patrick Amond being again their saviour and getting their goals. Ryan Taylor's come in, and Taylor is a decent striker at League Two level. Can they keep him out of the treatment room? That is the big question for Newport. He's a bit injury prone here and there, but it's a good addition with them two leaving. But I see Newport faring worse than what they did last season. I've got them in 22nd. One of the new guys next, and it's Barrow in 21st. Big blow with Ian Evatt leaving to join Bolton and trying to get their revolution going again in this league. And they've lost, obviously, Rooney, who got 17 goals last season. He's stayed in the National League at Stockport County. They've brought in a bit of experience. Luke James knows this league. Gribbin comes in from Manchester United. And Burns could be a bit of a coup from Hearts and Midlothian up in Scotland. David Dunn's come in. How will he fare? I think Barrow will have enough, and I think they will have enough bodies in there to get them over the line and stay up. And I think that's got to be the aim for them with the amount of big teams in this division. So I think they'd be happy to stay and have a second year in the EFL. 21st I've got for Barrow. Last year, I feel I put Crawley too far near the bottom. This year, I feel I can justify it, and 20th place I've got for Crawley Town. Biggest news for them was losing top goal scorer Ollie Palmer, who's moved up a division to AFC Wimbledon. You know what? And they've lost their middleman Camara as well, who's moved into League One. Also, they have a good squad addition with Tony Craig, the experience from Bristol Rovers, and Lubala still up top. Brought in Sam Ashford to see if he can continue his goal scoring form. He had a Hemel Hampstead last season, and I don't see Crawley being the wrong side of that dotted line, but I also don't see them pulling up any trees either. So 20th for Crawley Town. It's hard to judge the next side, and that is Stevenage were they, because obviously only recently they found out they are going to be playing League Two football, were they already planning for National League? With the players they brought in, you'd feel they'd probably have a really, really good season in the National League, bringing in Effie Young, who was top goal scorer at Dover Athletic last season, and Tyrone Marsh, we all know, in non-league. He's been brilliant for Macclesfield 2 years ago, and then at Boreham Wood last year, striking a great partnership with Tushimanga up front. They've brought in some experienced players. Ben Coker comes in, Vincelot comes in, Prosser from Colchester, who's a regular last year there. So they have definitely strengthened their squad. Osborne as well from Stockport, who got 9 goals from midfield last year as Stockport tried to make an assault back into the Football League. But Stevenage, I think they'll stay up. They've got a good slice of luck that, Macclesfield was run so poorly that they have another chance. And I think they'll stay up, Stevenage. The other new boys next, Harrogate Town. First ever time in the Football League. 18th's going to be, I think like Barrow, just staying up in this division will be key. And especially with the change of home comforts for them, with the change and the rip-up of their 3G pitch, not allowed in the EFL. They have hard-working players. That's epitomised with Tom Walker coming in from AFC File. They've got players like George Thompson, Connor Hall, Josh Falkingham. They can all make a step up, and I think Harrogate will be fine next season. In 17th, I've gone for Walsall, lower down from last season. Daryl Clark has now had a whole year in charge, and it wouldn't surprise me if they did a lot better than 17th. They would expect better in this division. They are, they're a reasonable, good-sized squad team for League Two, but not much coming in so far. Nelson holding on loan from Bristol City, but I don't see Walsall, punching near the top of the table, and I don't see them pretty much struggling either. But Daryl Clark's got a big job to rejuvenate Walsall and have a push for League One, that's for sure. Up to 16th, and we've got Morecambe, who normally are tipped to be near the bottom. I know I have in my last couple of videos, but it's a new kind of era, Morecambe, as well. You will not be seeing Barry Roach in goal, and you will not be seeing Kevin Ellison up front next season, which is a massive difference for Morecambe next year. But Derek Adams will be keen to push Morecambe on, not been higher than 18th since 2015. They've definitely improved on their backline. Harry Davis has come in, Knight Percival and Hendry. Mellor also in, and Liam McAlinden, a star. He'll want to be in the EFL. He comes in from Halifax, and he's got potential to improve as well. But Morecambe have got a reasonably decent squad, and I don't see them struggling as much as what people do this year. We're slowly moving up the table, and the next club I've got is in 15th place, is Carlisle United. Big player haul there this season. A few noted that come in. Tanner's in from Manchester United, was at Morecambe last season. Young Coyote, can he push on next season from how he started last year? And Brennan Dickinson comes in from Exeter. A big culture change from him from the south to the north, and he'll be hoping to find his form from 2017 at Colchester United when he banged in a plenty of goals. The only thing I worry about Carlisle about being any higher, where's their goals coming from? It looks a bit lack. They look quite strong at the back going forward, but as soon as they get to that final third, I'm not sure where the goals will come from. So 15th for Carlisle. A lot of people expect the next team to be near the top next year, but I've got Colchester United down in 14th in the bottom half. Lost in the playoffs last year. They've not got much come into the club this season in way of transfers so far. Still have a good basis, but they've lost Jackson, they've lost Comley, and Frank Newball as well has moved up the league with Plymouth to League One. I just struggle to see, especially with the lack of signing so far, that Colchester United are going to be anywhere near the top. And I don't see them doing as well as last year. For that fine bit of form at the end, got them into the playoffs. So I've gone for 14th place for Colchester United. Making up the bottom half, I've gone for Bradford City. I don't see them, struggling. I don't see them challenging either. They've made a few signings, but they've lost a big chunk of the squad from last year. They've turfed a lot out. Players like Mellor, McCartan, Anderson, Hopak, Pan, Henley, Riley all left the club this year. They're going for some fresh faces, certainly this year, inside that dressing room. Will it work out? It's a hit and miss sometimes when there's a lot of players going in and out, but I feel like Bradford will be having a transitional mid-table season. So there we have it. There is the bottom half of how we see it so far. Let's head to the top half now and find out who's the first side in 12th. So in 12th place, we've gone for Forest Green Rovers, much like Bradford, a host of new signings, a lot of players that have left that obviously were key to them being in the playoff sessions last season. They lost McGinley to Motherwell. You know, a lot of goals from the defender Joseph Mills. What a player he was for Forest Green last year. He's moved into League One with Northampton. They've brought in a few players. Sweeney has stepped up from his National League days of Barnet, so he will be trying his luck in the EFL. They've brought in Wilson, Taylor Moore, and also goalkeeper Luke McGee as well. I just feel like Forest Green won't be as punchy as they were last season, and I feel mid-table will be a fair result and a fair reflection on how their squad's looking at the moment. Into 11th, and I've gone for Port Vale. Two Salford players come in here, Devante Rodney as Pitchard and Whitehead as well. They need goals. They had a good season last year. John Askey, he was commenting this week about, the fact that they're sixth favourites for promotion this year. And that's testament to him and the squad that they had last season, how well they did. So close to getting promotion, and I think Port Vale, they're not going to struggle this year. They're still a decent outfit. I just don't know if they've got as much as what the other sides have to be any higher than around mid-table, and 11th for Port Vale. Into 10th, and I've got Harry Kewell's Oldham Athletic. A lot better season I think they'll have this year than they did last, and I hope Harry Kewell's given time to, put a bit of his stamp on the team. He's definitely made a few additions, a permanent deal for Pierre Gianni from Salford City. John Batty comes in from Championship Wycombe Wanderers. He's a very strong signing for League Two. Borthwick Jackson with his former Man United. And Conor McElhaney, what a player that is that could be for League Two. Lots of ability. Didn't quite work out for him at Fleetwood, but I think at League Two level, he's certainly capable of a lot of goals. I think Oldham, they've got a big overhaul of their squad, and I think Kewell might have pushed a few good buttons with the signings he's made. So a potential playoff push for Oldham Athletic this season. We're getting close to the playoffs, and in 9th I've gone for Cambridge United. A lot of people's tips to be near the bottom or even in the relegation zone, so it might surprise a fair few of you that I've put them this high. Mark Bonner has, he's really looked at his squad. What does he need in the dressing room? Well, what they have brought in is Wes Houlihan, absolute magician in his day, in his Norwich days. Can he bring some of that into League Two? I feel he can. Mullins a solid signing. I like the look of Ironside. Wasn't too prolific at Macclesfield last year, bringing in from Kidderminster Harriers, but Ironside's a good signing for me. They've also brought in Cundy from Torquay as he makes the step up. Lost Taft, but another one I really want to keep an eye on is Harvey Nibbs, 21-year-old, 7 goals last season for Cambridge. Can he push on? And only the experience of people like Houlihan behind him will get the best out of their forward of play. So I think Cambridge will have a good season, personally. In 8th and just missing out on a playoff place is Mark Molesley's Southend United. It's a big step up for Molesley, coming in from Weymouth, got them promoted to the National League last year, and he's got a big task to settle. Southend United were miles the worst team last year in League One, and if Bolton didn't have any points penalty, they would have finished 7 points behind everybody, and that was a poor Bolton side as well. It was turmoil all season. I didn't agree with Campbell leaving. I think he could have had a fair crack at it, but it's happened. They've brought in Green from Barnsley. But up front interests me, and with a fresh approach, a footballing approach, people like Charlie Kelman and Brandon Goodship surely will see a lot more balls hit the net. And Goodship for me is a good shout of being top scorer this year, and I think Southend will do okay. Just missing out on those all-important top 7 places, though. Into the playoffs then. First side, playoff specialists Exeter City. I say specialists as in always qualifying them, not when it comes to the playoffs. Embarrassed at Wembley by Northampton Town. Last year really should have been the year they did it. I really expected them to be in the top three last year. Added to that defence of Rory McArdle, has a bit of a good experience, and they still have Ryan Bowman up front. They play some good stuff. They play the right way, and it's just unfortunate they got stuffed at Wembley because it didn't epitomise their season of what they did. But for me, Exeter will get the playoffs. I was tinkering about them just being outside with that embarrassment. It might give a bit of a knock-on effect for this year, but I still think Exeter will fight back, and they'll be there or thereabouts this year. Above them, probably another shock to be fair, we've got to put Ian Holloway's Grimsby Town inside the playoffs. I like the look and the way Holloway's gone around, approaching his squad this year. Your experience of Clark, Vernon's left on free transfers, but they still got that pivotal key member of James Hansen up front, and he'll be helping out the new strikers they brought in. And how interesting and how exciting them players look. Alhaji Cissé comes in from the Welsh League, a young Spanish striker, and Montel Gibson in from Hales. Only got a few, but the one that looks like he really does know where the goal is Ira Jackson Jr. from Folkestone Invicta in non-league. He's got a bag full of goals last year, and he looks, on the clips that we've seen, he looks like he could probably take to a few League Two defences and continue his goal scoring form. Holloway knows a good player when he sees one. Moisni comes in, the Tunisian as well from Dundee United. And I just like the way their squad is taking shape. And I think Grimsby are going to be the real dark horse this year for League Two. In fifth place, another team who seems to be getting predicted a bit lower, Tranmere Rovers. Yes, they just came down ridiculously, if in my opinion. They did look like they were putting on a brave fight to probably drag Wimbledon into that relegation zone near the end, but it's done, it's moving on, and Tranmere can take that confidence of the way their squad was playing into this year. Vaughan stays, that's big for them. He's a fighter up front and a handful for League Two. And Morgan Ferrier, I really think will be a big handful for League Two defences. Very strong player, and I think he will get a few goals. Spearing comes in with that experience in the middle. I think Tranmere will do okay. And while they don't have a James Norwood this year for League Two, I still think they've got a pretty decent squad, and I think the playoffs is about right for the Merseyside outfit. Final playoff place, I've gone for Bolton Wanderers. Yes, just missing out on the top three. I don't think it'd be that plain sailing for Bolton Wanderers. You've got to remember, you look at your Bradfords that have got to League Two before, Portsmouth when they were in it. They're the team to be shot at. Everyone wants to beat them, and Bolton are going to be that side for League Two this season. They've got a hell of a lot of huge transfers in and transfers out, and it's going to be about how quick that can adapt this season. Everyone's going to be after Bolton from the off. Obviously, the big news is Owen Doyle. What a signing that is. Didn't carry on with League One with Swindon. Instead, he's gone to Bolton in League Two to try and fire them back into the league above at the first time of asking. They lost a few of the experienced boys, Murphy, Mellis, Emmanuel Buckley, but they have brought in some quality. Taft comes in from Cambridge, Comley from Colchester, young Liam Gordon looks like he's going to be a big player, and he was a big player for Dagenham and Redbridge last season in the National League. Gilks in goal, Delfonso up front, Gethin Jones, Alex Baptiste. There's experience everywhere that know how these leagues work. I just feel that with the fact that everyone will be trying to get into Bolton early and how quick them players will adapt, I think three other sides potentially could finish above Bolton. But a decent season and a few more wins compared to the last few years, their fans will watch, that's for sure. My bet for top three last season was Mansfield Town. How well that worked out, it didn't. They finished 21st. But I've gone for them again this year, and I think, they would have learned from that, and they've lost, a big goal scorer. One of their defending goal scoring defenders, Christian Pearce. CJ Hamilton's moved up, Conrad Logan in goal. The usual players that you saw from Mansfield have kind of been shipped out and sold on. In comes Bowery from the MK Dons. Ferran Rawson from Forest Green's a big signing. O'Keefe stays in the EFL. after his unfortunate relegation with Macclesfield. They've still got firepower. They've got Nicky Maynard, they've got Danny Rowe. Ollie Clark from Bristol Rovers is a massive signing for them. He knows how to fight in that side. And James Perch from Scunthorpe is that bit of experience that maybe they probably need at the back. But I feel confident with their signings and the squad they've still got. I think again I'm going to go for Mansfield. Unfortunately, I'll go for them every year. Going up automatically with Mansfield in second, I've got Salford City. I think this is the year for Salford. I think this is the year they stretch they flex their muscle and they get to League One. I think Tom Clark, if it's a big personality in that dressing room. Obviously, some of the big news is obviously Hunter coming back from Fleetwood, but Clark, if he stays injury free as well, that's a big player at the back. And for me, the signing of League Two in the summer, even more than Doyle a little bit, Ian Henderson, the quality and experience he brings, and he will get goals. His age is not relative. He is a real big signing for Salford City. They've gone quality over quantity this season, and I'd really fancy them to be in those top 3 places at the end of the season. Graham Alexander, I think he's got enough to get them over the line this year. That leaves us with one team left. Cheltenham Town, I've got as League 2 champions this season. Missed out on the playoffs. They've added to an already strong squad and need no more so than Liam Sercombe, a very surprise signing from the outside. Is a great addition. And, he will bring that experience and quality to that side. They've got the experience of Williams coming in up front as well, who scores goals. Promotion last season from Northampton. They've lost that experience of Varney, but Williams can easily replace them goals and experience. If they keep Broom as well, he's been linked to a lot of League One and lower Championship sides. An exceptional player for them last season. If they keep hold of him as well, Cheltenham Town have got a very good squad. They've already got that balance. They've already got that continuity in that side. That I think Cheltenham Town are going to have a very good year. And for me, I wouldn't put a lot of people off for them finishing top of the table. So, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes my table, and that's what I think the top half will be. There's a few changes I've made over the last couple of days. I think I'm in an hour in a few of those sides, but the final table I've come with, and that's my conclusion. That's what my prediction is. A few surprises in there if I'm basing it on comparing it to other people's predictions, but let me know how you think this table's going to finish. Who do you think is going to be the team that's going to be top? Who's going to be the surprise package that's going to be near the bottom of the league? What do you not agree with? Do you think I'm barking mad on a few of these? Give me a few players that you think there's to look out for that will bring your side into the top of that table. Hit that like button though. Subscribe so you do not miss out on further prediction videos. We'll be doing League One tomorrow, followed by the Championship and then the Premier League. Don't forget to comment on this down below about how your predictions are going. Who is going to be that side? Good luck this year. Good luck to everyone in League Two. That is me concluded.